China has already done it, and they already have it in 260 million Chinese citizens' wallets. The European Union has moved from exploration to now development of a digital euro, and they expect to have it in place in the next 2 or 3 years. So the point I'm making,
where it's been deployed, does it work? What's the experience?
China's works. It's actually quite sophisticated. It's quite powerful, and in a matter of time, China will not only use it for domestic use, but will export it around the world as an export product. You could imagine in, say, 10 years, a digital bolivar, which is basically a white label version of China's digital yuan. It'll have interoperability with China's digital yuan for payments for, say, building up port facilities or water treatment facilities, but it'll be white labeled as a digital bolivar. First of all, it's a very legitimate concern. Yeah. It's those representatives like Tom Emmer in Congress and DeSantis that have talked about this, they're not wrong to be concerned about this, because the benchmark thus far is China's digital yuan, which is designed for full surveillance of the population. And if that model were to be the basis for a digital currency here in the United States, it would be a disaster. It would violate the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, amongst other things, but it would be a disaster. But let's put that in context for a second. So can a stable coin. Okay, so can any type of centralized system of value is going to be a honeypot for massive amount of data. So whether the government does it directly with a digital currency or does it indirectly by pressuring stablecoin operators to suck out all the data and hand it over to the government, as they've done with social media platforms. Right. The concern about privacy is the key concern. That's why we formed the Digital Dollar Project, to really encourage the United States to lead with its values. The United States doesn't need to focus on whether or not to deploy a digital dollar right now, but it must take a leadership seat at the table that is today deciding what these digital networks of value, both sovereign and non-sovereign, are going to look like, because our economic competitors like Europe and our economic adversaries like China are at the table right now. And in China's case, they want to ensure a digital future of money that is safe for surveillance and safe for censorship. We need to assure a digital future that's safe for democracy, actually obtain much more efficient tools of monetary policy. So take the COVID disaster, for example. What did our government do? It tried to issue paper checks to people because it had no digital means of distributing. Many people who were locked up at home couldn't get to a bank or didn't have bank accounts. But with digital money, you could load it right onto their mobile device and do something that you can't do with cash, engage in online commerce. So a digital currency could actually be a great tool if we can get the other issues like privacy, like financial inclusion, like interoperability, and like resilience to penetration, if we can get those issues right. We will be seeing CBDCs of all kinds here in the United States, whether the United States deploys a digital dollar or not, because 130 countries around the world are currently exploring central bank digital currency, or CBDC.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box, provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity, and as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. Now, guys, I told you in 2023 in the first quarter, we would get an event, and now we have the banking collapse, which the master magicians pulled off the perfect distraction. And at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, guys, we're going to have another main event. Now, of course, the markets will still pump and dump until we get that next crisis. Guys, we know they're going to pull that rug. And all we have to do is watch the Fed to know exactly when that's about to happen. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And we had Bitcoin and crypto get a good pump yesterday evening. We did pull back, and overall, right now, as I'm doing this video, the market is flat. But guys, don't forget, on the weekend, we're the only game in town. So I do see altcoins continue to move up. Remember, guys, I told you at the middle of the week that altcoins will get a pump, and as we see, they definitely are. Remember, it's all based on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, guys, do not forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. We had yield rates climb up on Friday. And we know if yield rates continue to rise, we know markets are going to pull back. And especially in Bitcoin, we're definitely going to get a pullback anyway. We do have Jerome in the house, and they do like the markets to look decent while he's speaking. And we have the dollar slightly up. We have volume and crypto down. We have Tether, USDC, and TUSD. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $821 billion. Now we have Taiwan Central Bank completes wholesale CBDC study. Also, we have China signs 400 million CBDC deal with the UAE. And we have Giancarlo speaking about how powerful China's digital yuan is. And he admits it's used for surveillance of China's people. But guys, when you look at the technology of any CBDC, there's no way you can design it for freedom or privacy. And that's the reason why they want to go to a cashless society. Remember, blockchain gives the NWO the all-seeing eye and programmable money. They're able to tell you what, where, and when and how to buy, and you have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And if I have a lot of my population on universal basic income, that means I can control a lot of the population. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, do not forget about Grayscale sent about $35 billion. But getting over into a little crypto news, we have Fidelity held meeting with the SEC. Also, we have VanEck files Fifth Amendment for spot Bitcoin ETF. And guys, we have so many meetings and refilings. Guys, this is all part of the show. Kicking the can down the road for China. Remember, it's the rise of the emerging markets led by China. And we're going into 2024, and that means the switch is about to be flipped. You no longer have to wait, guys. This is no longer 5 years away, 10 years away. No, the switch is being flipped, and now the building begins. And lastly, we have FTX and Alameda moved 23.59 million assets to Binance, Coinbase, and OKEx. And the distraction is coming. We always get that sell-off in the first quarter. And my stock Patreon, I showed you ways to short. Remember, you make money whether it's going up or going down. Now, 2024 is a presidential year, and they want the U.S. markets to at least look decent. And we know the Fed has the weapon in the back pocket, and that's cutting rates, which is going to give the illusion that the economy is not so bad. Even though we're seeing layoffs after layoffs, credit card debt going through the roof, car payments behind, we know the consumer stays in the illusion. But that illusion will disappear, and they'll be in reality in 2025. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the fourth industrial revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York. From COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.